Hey, welcome, current year fans. I'm Culture Casino, and I am standing in for Ian K today. It seems a U.S. district judge named Mary Ellen Noriega's recent, inquiry into Hunter Biden's plea agreement deal has shed some, unwanted light on an ongoing investigation surrounding the president's son. During the much anticipated hearing on Wednesday, that would be, the day I'm recording this, the deal with U.S. Prosecutor David Weiss has hit a snag, and it's led to some very poignant questions about its scope and the potential consequences here. You see, there was also some weird shenanigans happening in this case because, there was an attorney that called a judge pretending to be a different person, and you don't do that. It very much frustrated the judge, and it's an action that could get you disbarred. But until things shake out there, we're not going to cover it. Instead, we're going to talk about how Hunter Biden's lawyers had indicated today that he would plead guilty to 2 tax misdemeanors. That's right, 2 of them. However, during the course of this plea arrangement, some last-minute developments came in to play, for lack of a better way to put it. And those revelations dominated the news cycle just before the hearing. We were hearing about it all morning. And reporters that were present at the courthouse observed the crucial moment where the U.S. prosecutor informed the judge that the investigation into Hunter Biden was still ongoing. Of course they had to do that. And of course the judge wanted them to do that. The judge actually asked, rightfully so, whether or not the plea deal covered potential charges that were related to the Foreign Agents Registration Act, or FARA, and whether or not those violations could result in those future charges. Now, to its credit, the prosecution stated that the deal did not encompass any FARA violations, which is good. The judge then came out directly and pressed the prosecution seeking clarity, saying, does this preclude you, this particular plea agreement, does this preclude you from bringing FARA charges in the future if I accept this plea agreement? It's a good question. This is somebody who does not want to be caught up in, all of the muck that is involved in the Biden family issues. That sounds like a really bad horror movie. Or horror comedy. I'll think about that. And of course, here is the biggest surprise. The prosecutor's response to the judge was not reassuring. In fact, the response was no. We could bring those charges, and that is probably not something Hunter wanted to hear. Essentially, it's leaving the sword of Damocles hanging from over Hunter's head, and maybe everybody else is involved in some very questionable, potentially, probably criminal actions by the family as a whole, which is interesting. Of course, right after that prosecutor's statement, what happens? You guessed it, a 10-minute recess. And then what followed was, an interesting moment in court. CNN actually later reported that both parties had agreed that the deal wouldn't shield Hunter Biden from any potential charges that also included those FARA violations. What other potential charges? I wonder. Now, it's crucial to note that the plea agreement did not resolve the ongoing criminal probe into Hunter Biden. And believe me, there probably are many different criminal probes. I know they're trying to get it down to one, but there's a lot of illegal actions here in many different fronts that are covered by lots of different kinds of federal laws. And, what's really explosive here is the 5th paragraph of the plea deal. And in that statement, it explicitly says that the investigation is ongoing. Boy, I bet they wish they could have skipped that paragraph. Everybody involved, including Hunter Biden's attorneys. And as Ian is fond of saying, but wait, there's more. There have been allegations surrounding Hunter Biden's involvement in many things, including bribery, with an FBI informant being part of those ongoing investigations. You also have IRS whistleblowers that have raised concerns about the potential FARA violations and a whole host of other things. They are suggesting that it's further warranted we have a special counsel looking into all of these various matters. I would prefer multiple special counsels looking into them all at the same time, so at least one of them can make it to court in an expedient fashion. I think being expedient in all of these is incredibly important. Interestingly, Hunter's attorney, Chris Clark, seemed to have a different understanding of the case's status last month. He had confidently declared back then that the two agreements between my client, Hunter Biden, and the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Delaware is that the 5-year investigation into Hunter was resolved. I bet you he was surprised. And now we bring up more confusion because of the contrasting statements involved here. And of course, the potential for future charges. Those are perplexing to some. Will this investigation lead to more charges related to those FARA violations? Because you're supposed to register as a foreign agent when you're doing any kind of financial transaction in any manner like this, and something that seems to happen regularly and in considerable numbers. Of course, the biggest question is going to be, what are the implications for Hunter Biden and his family overall? Because let's not forget, he is intricately tied with his father and other family members through shared bank accounts and transactions that were done with foreign entities that, have come very starkly into the light. And so what does the ongoing criminal probe play in the broader context of the Biden family's activities? There's many, many questions and very few answers. Of course, as the case unfolds, it becomes quite evident that this isn't merely a routine plea deal, at least based on the observations from today. And now we have a persistent rumor that additional charges will be levied against more of the Biden family members. So as previously stated, we're not left with a whole lot of resolutions here, and Hunter Biden and his attorneys are left with even fewer resolutions than I believe they probably had hoped for. One thing's for certain, however, freedom is always on the right side of history. This is Culture Casino on behalf of Ian K, signing off.